Alright, this is lesson number 2, solutions to systems of equations and inequalities. Today our goal is to identify solutions to systems of equations and inequalities. So, yesterday we looked at graphs and we were just identifying like linear, quadratic, exponential, and cubic. Today we're going to be looking at graphs that are systems, meaning that there's lines that cross. And sometimes where the lines cross, that's the answer, or sometimes where the shaded region is the answer. So kind of the big idea is like, we wanted to figure out where the point is or where the solution is, because all year in math we're going to be finding solutions. So this is one way we find solutions, is on a graph. So an idea of this is, think about Battleship. Anyone ever play that game Battleship, where you have like you and your friend, and you're like, okay, and you're like, you set up your ships and you don't want your friend to see it because you don't want them to sink your battleship, and so they try to say, hey, E1, and then they're like, are you on E1? And you're like, nope, miss, right? And then you're like, D4, and then maybe if your friend's on D4, they'll say hit, and the whole goal of the game is to figure out where the solution is so that you could sink their battleship, right? Anyone ever play that game? Yeah, a lot of you. So that's the same concept today. We're trying to figure out what's the point that we can sink the battleship or find the solution to our equation, okay? Here are the steps. If you're on the video, pause right now. Write these down. Okay, here we go. Number 1 and 2. Just watch right now. Everyone's just watching. So number 1, we have a system of equations. There's 2 lines, no shaded regions. We want to know. The directions say identify any solutions, okay? So over here, it's when the lines cross, okay? So I have to figure out what point is this where the lines cross. So I start off from the origin, and I start counting toward there. Okay, we want to know what that point is. So I go to the left, and I count them like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? To the left, and then I go down. 1, 2, 3, so then I write -3. And that's my point. That's the answer to number 1. That's where the solution is right here. Okay? Again, what did I do? I read the directions. This says identify any solutions. Found where the lines cross, that's where the answer is. Easy, right? You got that? Okay, number 2, identify any solutions. This one's different. This is a system of inequalities. So we could pick where the lines cross, but over here, if it's a system of inequalities, if it's on a dashed line, we can't include them. And this is on a dashed line, so we couldn't include that spot. But we could pick any spot in the shaded region. Any one you want. It doesn't matter. There are so many answers. You could pick a lot of answers and still get it right. So I'm going to pick this point right here that's on the y-axis because it's easy to pick. Okay, I'm picking that one right here. And I'm just going to count. I know it's not going left or right from the origin, so I'm going to put 0 down. And I'm going to count down to -7. So the answer is 0, -7. And that's it. That's one of the answers. Could I have picked other points? Yes, of course I could. I could pick a lot of other points. But can I pick anything in the non-shaded region? Nope, that would be wrong. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so that's all we're doing today. Any questions on numbers 1 or 2? Okay, yeah.
Is the shaded region always going to be at the bottom? Or can it be?
It could be anywhere on the graph. It could be on the bottom, it could be on the top, it could be on the side, it could be anywhere. Good question, yeah. Okay, so remember your numbers 1s and 2s. So today we're going to start with 2s. 2s are going to talk first in your rows. 2s are first. 2s, I want you to talk about number 1 to your neighbor, explain how did I find the answer. And then once they're done, switch to 1s. 1s are talking to 2s about number 2. Ready, set, talk. Everyone's talking right now. Go.
You chose like the -7 in the shade spot. It's on the y-axis. 0. Yeah.
Alright. Once you're done talking, you should write these down. And basically in your notes, this is what I want you to write down. I want you to write down, draw an X and Y axis on this one, draw the 2 lines, and then draw an arrow showing me where the point is on this. And then over here, do the same thing. You're going to draw the 2 lines, but I also want you to shade lightly the region that's here. Make sure this is a dashed line, and then show me the answer that we picked here for this one. Okay? Number 3, we have identify any solutions, so I'll give you 30 seconds. Figure out what is the solution that's there. The answer is 3, -2, right? Okay, number 4, go. Pick the solution to number 5. If you look up there, there's a point way up there. Right? Oh, I think only 1 or 2 of you got that right. So make sure you get the right answer. Check it. Look very carefully in your homework. Last one, number 6, by yourselves. Go. You could pick anywhere in the shaded region. And for example, I even saw someone had the origin. What an easy number, right? Isn't that an easy point to pick? 0, 0. Could I have picked anything on this solid line here that's next to the shaded region?
Yes.
Yes, good. What about on this dashed line next to the shaded region? No. You guys got that?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, awesome. Well, that concludes the lesson. What I'd like you to do now is go to